This is what my automations used to look like in make.com, and now they look like this. See, I've used make.com for 2 years and I built hundreds of automations, but I was constantly having to update them, reconfigure them, reconnect them. And don't get me wrong, make.com is powerful, but there's a steep learning curve. And that's where I found Twin and everything changed. See, with Twin, it wasn't only just easier, it was also saving me hours every single week from having to update, maintain, and fix these workflows. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you why I think you should choose Twin over make.com. Okay, so we can see right here, this is a make.com workflow that honestly probably took me about 4 to 5 hours to build. And you can see it's a very, very complicated workflow. So I'm just going to dive in here and I'm going to show you all of the things that this workflow, has, what I need to build, what I need to configure as well. So you can see, obviously we've got our webhooks, and each of these individual nodes or modules are essentially data points. And within these data points, we have to manually go ahead and prompt them. So for example, here's an OpenAI one. We can see we have to write a prompt, we have to put in data, we have to format that data. We have tool variables. So essentially we can set variables for tools. We've got routers, we've got reiterates, we've got a bunch of different things inside make.com. And these are all individual data points. And these are all different things you need to learn in make.com before you can even build these workflows. So we can see right here, I have a router, I've got a different filter. So you need to understand how filters work. You need to understand how to pass different sets of data through all these workflows. And honestly, it's just way too complicated, for beginners. And there's a steep learning curve until you're actually competent enough to building automation. So you can see right here, each of these modules are data points, right? So essentially we have our API requests as well. This is an example of an API request we have inside make.com. So we've got the URL, we have to configure, we have to look up API documentation for URLs. We have to look up how to pass those API documentations. We need to know the certain data that needs to come into it. And then we also have reiterators right here as well. So this is essentially reiterating data. We also have to learn a bunch of different things about that. And then we also have webhooks. So sending webhooks to different platforms. This is only just one automation in make.com. You'll also need to configure different automations and different API requests in different platforms, So these are just, some of the many examples of why it makes it very complicated for make.com to not only learn, but then you also have to constantly update them and fix them as these APIs are getting changed. You have to fix them as make.com are updating their services. And a bunch of different things. So, once you've taken the time to go ahead and learn all of the different modules, all of the different APIs, how all the data points work, all the different tools, variables inside make.com, you also have to spend the time to go ahead and fix them individually. You have to update them. You have to relearn a lot of things. And honestly, it just takes hours every single week to constantly maintain these automations, make sure they're working, and continue to adapt to the software as well. So that's just another example or a prime example of how make.com can be very complicated to learn and takes hours of work to actually go ahead and maintain. See, also another thing with make.com, it does give you a lot of control over the data, but most people just don't want that. They don't care about how the data is structured or how much control they have. They just want the task done. And that's really where I found Twin to come into play. For example, if you just go ahead and compare this make.com workflow with this Twin workflow, you can see how much easier it is. All you literally need to do is just type in the prompt that you want and Twin will go ahead and build it. So we just go ahead and paste it right here. We can see every day at Monday, 9 a.m., pull all the new leads from a HubSpot from the past week, enrich them with company data, score them based on the company size and industry, and then add a high scoring leads to a Google Sheet and send me a Slack summary. So this is an example of what you can put into Twin to go ahead and just build this entire automation for you. So all you literally need to do is just click send and that's it. Twin is going to build everything. And if you compare that to this complicated make workflow, it's just so much more easier. And on top of that, Twin can actually go ahead and fix its mistakes. So if any APIs update, it's going to automatically know how to fix it. using AI as well. So not only is it going to be so much more faster to build, it's going to save you so much more time. It's going to be so much more easier to maintain as well. So we can see this is just a quick automation that I'm going to go through. So we can see this is how it's going to get planned out. So pull all the contacts created in the last 7 days, enrich them, do a web search, score them, add them to a Google Sheet, and then send a Slack summary. So you can literally just go ahead and answer these questions, and Twin is going to build out the entire automation for you. Okay, now having a look at the pricing. So we can see that they have different pricing. So how Meg.com pricing works is essentially they do it by credits, and those credits are turned into operations, which is known as the usage. So for example, the more you use your automations, the more you use your workflows, the more credits are going to use up, and the more credits you need to use up, the more, the better the plan you need to have. If we come a look and we take a look at Twin, we can see they do a very similar thing. But the key difference is that Twin, you are able to go ahead and put in your automation. It's going to build out everything for you. It's going to maintain it. It's going to fix all the errors, and you literally don't need to do anything. So if we take a look at Twin's plan, which is at $20 a month, and then we also take a look at Meg's plan, which is around $18 or another $20 a month, you can see that they have that credit log. So again, the more you use their operations, the more you use their systems, it's going to build you accordingly. And you have to build out all the workflows. You have to learn the platforms. You have to learn all the APIs. You have to constantly maintain everything. I think you get the idea by now. So we can see they do have that credit limit, but if we come over to Twin, we can see that not only is it going to build out everything, it's also going to maintain it. And we can see it has all the API integrations. It has that browser-based task, which essentially means that you can go ahead and access an AI agent browser to look on your browser to get data. So essentially everything is going to happen automatically. So those are the two plans kind of stacked up to, against each other. And we can see Meg has very similar plans going and scaling up as we do. And essentially it just allows for more credits and more teams right here. And to be honest, if you are a seasoned expert, if you are a developer, if you know Meg.com, if you want maximum control over your data, then Meg.com might be the best thing for you. But honestly, if you're just looking to automate repetitive tasks, if you're looking to, just send off your prompt and you want the entire automation built for you, you want the entire automation taken off your hands, you want it to be maintained for you, then I think Twin is going to be the best option for a lot of those business owners and a lot of those people who just want to build automations and just, one and done it essentially. So without further ado, that's going to be it of this video. We have our Twin builder comparison, we have our Meg.com comparison as well. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next video, and make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more tutorials, more comparisons, and more content on Twin as well.